Very good evening. Thanks everyone for beaming in wherever you are. I want to take this time to thank you all for being and blessing us at the Indigenous Ways concert series. Just before we kick off tonight, we want to acknowledge the traditional caretakers and ancestors of the lands that we reside on here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and also wherever you are beaming in from this moment, uh, acknowledging the traditional caretakers and ancestors of the lands so we could all be here together. Thank you.
And Indigenous Ways is dedicated to bridging cultural exchange with people globally. So we're really grateful for all the performers, presenters, comedians, everybody that has come on. So we want to welcome everybody to our virtual event this evening. We will continue after tonight to have our Wednesday virtual events for the Wisdom Circle at 6 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time. And I wanted to thank everybody that has reached out to us via email, text, chat box, and etc., etc. So this evening we are beyond excited to
Yes.
have the one and only Radmilla Cody, who hails from the large Navajo Nation. I mean, the land is vast where we come from. And Radmilla is a serious role model. She has done a lot with her life, and she has dedicated her life to remaining on the Navajo lands, raising a child, and promoting advocating for domestic violence intervention, and supporting services that empower the people. Radmilla Cody is very respectful and honorable to our elders and holds them in great light and esteem as our most important generation, as our wise ones that know the stories from their grandfathers and grandmothers and their grandfathers and mothers, and keeping that alive through oral traditions. And Radmilla has been blessed with a lot of the traditional songs and chants. So we are very, very honored tonight to have Radmilla Cody, and we want to thank Zoel for interpreting for us tonight. Thank you very much, and let's give it up for Radmilla Cody. Woohoo!
Ooh.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, it's Greetings, everyone. Yaha and Sago for having me be a part of this wonderful Zoom performance with Indigenous Ways. And I'm really glad to be here with everyone, sharing this virtual space with each and every one of you. And Zoel, thank you very much for joining me as well, and using our beautiful sign language to our relatives, so that they could be our part of this wonderful evening with each and every one of you. I would like to first introduce myself to you in the Navajo language, and then I will translate that for you in English. She asche nishle na hitle bashichin na kirene dashiche na hitle dashinale akut isanshle ado tizisi holiere isident nasha konanad o yaha nihite dashing kon hilon shlone shik edo shitine at hasinlo. I am of the Red Okarchi clan, born for the African American. My maternal clans are of the Mexican clan, and my paternal clans are of the African American. And this is how I identify myself as a woman from Loop, Arizona. And again, it is an honor to be here with each and every one of you. The first song that I would like to share with you all is a protection way warrior song, and it is a song that that is very it's a song that is sung for our warriors. And right now, with a lot of our frontline warriors out there during this pandemic, who are delivering foods to our elders, to our children, to our people, to our relatives in need, to our doctors, right? Our doctors that are working around the clock to be there for, during this pandemic. And, all of the, like the EMTs. And so it's all of these frontline workers that are out there during this pandemic for us. I just want to honor you with this song. And also even those of us right now, as we're home, using this opportunity, to really reflect. I know I've done a lot of self-reflecting in terms of how we're moving forward. Thinking really a lot about what does Native liberation look like for us? What does Black liberation look like for us? What does liberation look like even for Nahastan, Hima, Mother Earth, Father Sky? And what has been very healing during this time is having been able to plant a cornfield this year, to have our own field, and to spend time, to work with teach my little one, our language. Since he was born, his first language in Navajo was Doda. He emphasized it. He would add his own little twist, do 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 da, and which interprets to no, because he would hear that all the time from me. I would say no, 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 and so using this opportunity to this time rather to really strengthen that kinship, that within our homes, and still even with each other, as we see a lot of our Black Lives Matter, relatives, the movement, and through that, and then also even with our families, as we're home and we're becoming more connected. And also through even social media, as we're putting that information out there. So a lot of us can't, be out there physically to stand with a lot of our relatives who are fighting for the injustices, social and environmental injustices, but we can still do our parts at home by sharing, through social media and through our prayers and by educating ourselves. And this is a good opportunity to do that. And so with these songs that I share with you today, these are songs that, my uncle and I co-wrote together, and some songs he wrote, Dr. Herman Cody. But when you think about these songs, these are songs that have been, our ancestors have been singing, for a very, very, very long time. And these are songs that have been passed on from generations, whether it's through the, through the chanting itself, or the words, the language in itself, is powerful. Even through our songs, the language in itself is powerful through our prayers. And that right there, is what I know has helped me to get through a lot, because my grandmother, she returned back to the House of Dawn 8 years now. And one of the things that she always stressed and emphasized to me is the importance of language. And for her, it was, if I stumbled on my words, even just a little bit, she would say, hey, hello, walla, 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 no, she would, she would scold me and she would get after me and say, I don't ever want to hear you just saying walla, 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 even if I'm saying walla, walla, walla right now. But that's what the English language sounded like to her. And she would say, I raised you to speak our language, our language as Dene. And you will always speak that language proudly. And so now that I talk to my little one in Navajo, and he's helping me, to also remind me of some of the words that I've kind of forgotten, but even through learning how to read in Navajo, because I don't know how to read in Navajo, only my songs, but but in general, I'm learning, I'm teaching myself through our Shema storytelling. and so challenging myself even in that way. So the language in itself, I have always perceived, even growing up as a biracial, and how my grandmother instilled that in me as my shield. And it's something that has carried me through as a Diné Nahithe, as a Black and as a Black Indigenous, Black Diné woman, you know, in all my years, to be able to continue to be very proud of who I am and where I come from. And this is this is where these songs come from. You know, this is where you hear the language, the beautiful language of our people, the Diné, and other languages for that matter, you know, other Indigenous languages. When you hear that, it's beautiful, it's powerful. And so with that, I'd like to start off with the Protection Way Warrior song as as I honor, you know, our frontline warriors today with that song, with this song. Hey, ane anga, yitka huwa yitka huwa yitka huwa neo wo ha 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 neo wo na ye is gane gane ligo yitka huwa bestif yithie hatit ego Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Neo wo. Ha eh ah hey, ha eh ah hey, ha eh ah hey, ha eh ah hey, Neo wo. Topa just chine got neliko, Yitkahu wo ye. Bestok is ye hat its echo, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Neo wo ha ah hey, ha ah hey, ha ah hey, Neo wo. Besist oki kata hyoleko, Yitkahu wo ye. To ye go bits a winnie ye go, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Neo wo ha ah hey, ha ah hey, ha ah hey, Neo wo. Do atket nehi got neligo, Yitkahu wo ye. A tindi and ye go, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Neo wo ha ah hey, ha ah hey, ha ah hey, Neo wo. Na pahiten ne kat neligo, Yitkahu wo ye. Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Yitkahu wo ye, Neo wo ha ah hey, ha ah hey, ha ah hey, Neo wo ha ah hey, ha ah hey, ha ah hey, Neo wo. So that is the Protection Way Warrior song. So we forgot to mention that the Protection Way Warrior song is also a song about our monster slayers. And they were the two warrior twins. And it's a story, I won't go into full detail about it, but it's a story. They're part of our creation stories and how they slayed the monsters that once roamed among us, and those monsters were the monsters of greed, the monsters of gambling, the monsters of starvation, the monsters, just like all the bad things, all the bad the different monsters, even like right now with us, with this monster, this virus that is among us right now. You know, I refer to a lot of our young folks, our young folks as the modern day monster slayers, because of what they are doing to stand up against a lot of the injustices that we face, and you know, today in our society. And so it's, you know, we all can do our part to slay these monsters, these monsters of white supremacy, these monsters, you know, these monsters that continue to roam among us, these monsters that are part of these systems of oppression. And you know, these monsters of racism, these monsters of gender-based violence, police violence, right? These are all monsters, and we all have a role in being these modern day monster slayers and slaying these monsters. And so that's also what this song, Protection Way Warrior Song, is about. The next song that I would like to sing to you is a song about clans. And this song is, like I introduced myself to you. I said, I called, said that I was of the Ashche clan, which is the Red Ochre Cheek clan. And the Red Ochre Cheek clan, I'm the Red Ochre Cheek clan born for the African American, which is the Nahile. It's a new term that identifies our Black relatives and those that I'm born for. And so Na means those who have come across, Hith, dark, calm, have overcome and persevered, I, oneness, versus the old term, which just for educational purposes, I will share with you, it was used to be Na Jini or Jini. And over time, that term has become a derogatory racist term. And so this new term I looked into, it was passed down to me by a Navajo practitioner. And, you know, he's a relative of mine, an uncle of mine. And I asked him, what kind of, you know, I asked him, what kind, you know, is there a more enduring term that we can identify our Black relatives with, as this, you know, this other term has over time just has, you know, become racist and derogatory. And growing up, when you're hearing this term, you know, is you know, it's a term that others, right? It's a term that makes you feel excluded. And for us as Diné, and as a lot of, you know, other Indigenous societies, we're, you know, our societies are based on kinship. And so he said, you know, you know, this is now in our ceremonies, we identify our Black relatives with the term Nahile. So obviously this term is an old term, if it's a term that, you know, is used in the ceremonies. And so that's my second clan. And then there's the Nak'edene, which is the Mexican clan. And those are my maternal, that's my maternal clan. And then my paternal clan is the African American again. So this song is the Klashchit song, and it's a song that is about my first clan, the Red Ochre Cheek clan. And it's not just the one clan that I am related to. I am related to 6 other clans. And so those 6 other clans is the Klashchit, Sitna Jini, Kintla Chitni, Desh Chitni, Senahabithli. And so those are the 6 clans and that I'm related to. So when I introduce myself and someone says, "Oh, I am Desh Chitni," then I say, "Oh, you're you are my relative. You are my brother, my sister. you are my relative. And so we established that kinship through our clans. And so this is the Ashche clan. Yane yanga Ashe atone tanikli heya Ashe atone tanikli heya Titna jini t'ala bil tanikli heya Kinsa cheat ni t'ala bil tanikli heya Heya na hey heya na hey heya na hey heya Heya na hey heya na hey heya na hey heya Ashe Adonai tanikli heya Ashe Adonai tanikli heya Deshit nit ala bil tanikli heya Izetlanit ala tanikli heya Hey Anna hey Anna hey Anna hey Hey Anna hey Anna hey Anna hey Ashe Adonai tanikli heya Ashe Adonai tanikli heya Tena bethni t'ala tanikli heya Ateni onet ala ebitanikli heya heya na heya na heya na heya heya na heya na heya na heya Ashe Adonai tanikli heya Ashe Adonai tanikli heya Nihitene et ala akibis tanikli heya Nihitene et ala akibis tanikli heya Heya na heya na heya na heya Heya na heya na heya na heya And if we're not related, then is ongoing. So even if you're not related, depending on I guess the age, I would still refer to them as my older brother, older sister, or however they identify. So so that that's the Ashche song. The next song that I would like to share with you is because, oh my gosh, we've been getting a lot of rain lately, and it's been really wonderful as this is the monsoon season, and it's been really good just beautiful to hear Ititnene is the thunder when it's like boom, right? To hear Ititnene. And so Yatishishnihitka, Father Sky, is from how from what I understand and how I was raised and taught, is that the Father Sky is the discipline, is a disciplinarian. So we're told when it's thundering outside or when it's raining, you're not supposed to be running around outside. You stay inside and be respectful, to the earth, and because that's their time to mate. And so and of course, as a kid, you don't really pay attention to that. Because as a kid, I remember my cousins and I would go out and ride the sheep and and one time there was a lightning that that was not too far from us, but it went right near us, and so we got in trouble for that. But that right there is a discipline. Is a discipline that takes place when you're not respectful to Yadishlishi Hita. And so this song that I would like to share with you is called A Child of Water. And so this song describes all the different elements like Nad's Elid, the rainbow, Father Sky, Nastan Hima, Saba'ad, female rain, Saba'at, male rain. Saba'ad, female rain, is the gentle rain. Saba'ad is the like the more intense rain. So those are just some of the examples of what this song is about. Heyane yanga biaji nishle biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo nahastani biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Yadilye biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Hayot kali biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Twodiani biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Toba hojoni biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Tobe inani biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Cha'athli biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Nilsabe adi biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Nilsabe kai biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Nini biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Shabik oli biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo Not ilit atim biaji nishle aha iya biaji nishle go ate neo. So this next song that I would like to sing is a song about kinship. When we talk about and kinship, I think it's not only just our relationship to one another. It's our relationship, as you've heard in the songs that I've been singing, to Nahastan Hima, Mother Earth, Father Sky, and our non-human relatives. Even the littlest tiny bug is our relative. Even one of my favorite insects or creatures rather is the wulachi, because I like to sit and watch them sometimes, and they're just, for them to be so little, they can carry so much, and they work as a team. I wish our Navajo Nation government would do that. our government in general, but they work as a team, right? We could learn a lot from them. And so it's, they're just such beautiful creatures. And I think there's so much that we can learn from when it comes to even our horses. Yeah, our horses, our sheep. The bedot is it, the goats and the sheep. And I grew up a sheep herder, so one of the things that that I enjoyed was during lambing season was hand feeding the babies, the baby sheep and the baby goats, and it would be 12 o'clock at night. We would be at midnight. My grandma and I would be sleeping, and she would just jump up and say, lay the bed. Is it hard to she now? Hard to she called let you go there. Yeah, no, she don't have she dish now the kid now yeah, a lot of questions. She didn't know. My grandma would get up at midnight, and she would worry about her her lost sheep or her lost goat during lambing season. And so she would go out and look for the sheep and the goat, and we would take a sheet with us. And we took the sheet because we would, when we would find the mother and its baby, we would we couldn't touch it because because of the scent, or else the mother would not want its baby anymore. So we would carefully place the sheet underneath the baby, and we would drag it all the way back up to the house, or not to the house, but to the corral. And so those are beautiful memories that that I enjoy sharing about my grandma. But this song is the K'eh song. And my grandmother was a woman of K'eh. She really was. When I talk about K'eh does not discriminate, I think of her because even as my grandmother, she was challenged by her own children. She was challenged by her own relatives, her own community, when she was raising me. And they would ask her, and basically asking her, why are you raising that little Black girl? And my grandmother always brought back to the center, to the forefront of her responses. And she would say, this is my grandbaby, this is my child, and I love her, that's why. And so I think right now, during this pandemic, kinship is being strengthened on so many levels. And it's good because it's needed. We're reminded by Nahastan Himma, right? I really feel Nahastan Himma is being our mother right now, and she's disciplining every single one of us, all of us, as her children. And she's saying, sure, get sure. They see not, right? Listen. This is, I too am experiencing this with you. And so we either have that, we're either going to listen or just continue on, in a way that's not healthy, or we're gonna make some necessary changes for our future, for the future of our younger generation and those that are unborn. And so, this is, I really believe that this is a time where she's reminding us of kinship. So this song is about that. It's about Eshigal, walking through life, kinship. Where's my, oh, here it is. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah. Wington, she, hello, on a show, we are, hey, Wington, she's a log on a show, we are, hey, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah, we are, hey, yo, she, hello, on a show, we are, hey, yo, she's a log on a show, we are, hey, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah, we are, hey, Ajobashi, Ologona Sha, we are, hey, Ajobashi, Salagona Sha, we are, hey, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah, we are, hey, Atilishi, Ologona Sha, we are, hey, Atilishi, Salagona Sha, we are, hey, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, we are, hey, Odinishi, Ologona Sha, we are, hey, Odinishi, Salagona Sha, we are, hey, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, we are, hey, Yetekinishi, Ologona Sha, we are, hey, Yetekinishi, Salagona Sha, we are, hey, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, we are, hey, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, we are, hey, This light is kind of in my eyes, so I'm gonna try to get this out a little bit. Oh, all right. Oh, it's right there again. All right. So what's beautiful about is, as I sang in this song, is that it is we're strong, we're strengthened through it. In hope lies in kinship, right? And compassion lies in kinship, and to rely on one another, which we're doing right now, during this pandemic. We're being there for one another, and supporting, each other through this. That ha'olnini, to depend, to rely, to be there for one another. And so it's beautiful, to be able to have, like, to come from a society that's our powerful structure. That's our powerful foundation, as Dene, that we have, that we operate on a day-to-day basis. And knowing that, even as we come out of this, once we come out of this pandemic, that we'll be able to reestablish that with one another again. And hopefully it will be soon, hopefully it will be soon. But there's no in material things. There's no in money. There's only in each other. And Nastan Hima, Mother Earth, Father Sky, and our non-human relatives. And we should continue on that path. So this next song that I would like to sing, let me see if I need to actually find that one. I put it here. Is a song about the sacred elements, and it's a it's a song about the sacred elements. And I haven't sang it in a while, so this one I do need to find it. Okay. If I can. I'm kind of adding this one. I kind of like this is this is kind of informal. I was asking Tosh, is this going to be informal? I have to. So let me see. Let me share this. There it is. Okay. I haven't sang this one in a while, but I'd like to share this one with you all before. I'll sing a couple more songs. This will be one of them, and then I'd like to end with another song about kinship. So. All right. Hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey nea. Hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey nea. Kone hatieni, kote inani. Kompa hojoni hey hey o yitla hitnetna hey anea hey ya hey anea hey ya hey anea hey ya hey anea hey ya hey nea hey anea hey ya hey anea hey ya hey anea hey ya hey nea. One hatieni toke inani topa hojoni hey hey neche yitla hitnetna hey anea hey ya. Hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey nea. Hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey nea. Niche hitieni, niche pe inani, niche pa hojoni, hey hey, na hasan yitla hidinetna, hey anea hey ya. Hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey nea. Hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey nea. Nahasatieni, nahasa pe inani, nahasa pa hojoni, hey hey, ko yitla hitnetna, hey anea hey ya. Hey anea hey ya, hey anea hey ya, hey anea, hey ya, hey nea. Hey anea, hey ya, hey anea, hey ya, hey anea, hey ya, hey nea. Ta'atwo ahidinedna, ta'atwo ahidinedna, ta'atwo ahidinedna, hey hey, akut ego behinidna, hey anea, hey ya. Hey anea, hey ya, hey anea, hey ya, hey anea, hey ya, hey nea. Hey anea, hey ya, hey anea, hey ya, hey anea, hey ya, hey nea. Okay. Again, thank you for having me as a part of this Indigenous Ways performance. Tosh was sharing with me that they've been doing this for quite some time and have had some awesome performers and relatives who have been performing on the show. And so I'm very honored to be a part of it. And so thank you, Tosh, and to your partner as well for having me. My voice is starting to give it out a little bit. So as Tosh had mentioned earlier, I'm a mom. And so I am really busy being a mom, but I love it. It's as I say, it's beautifully challenging. It's definitely taught me a lot about myself, and I'm learning so much as a first time mom, and then of course my partner too, and he's just, you know, he's our little monster slayer, and we're, you know, every day it's funny. He's the one who tells us to get up in the morning. He's on he's like, cook, mom, make breakfast, you know. And so he tells us, get up. And so he's like a little old soul. He's like a little Che. And so now, like our days, of course, you're, you know, as a mom, you're in a routine. We get up in the morning and we read books. He loves to read. So we read our books, and it's funny because we get into our little debates about whether he wants me to read in Denebizad or in Biliganic Etchen. And so I think he just does that because he knows that I'm like, Dota, the neck Etchigo, and he's like, Biliganic Etche, you know. So so it's really, it's fun. I love being a mom. I really do. It's something that I've always wanted, and you know, I'm there now. And so I just want to encourage all of our moms and dads out there to hang in there and you know, to just spend time with your kids. This is the time to talk to them. If you know Deneb, if you know how to speak Denek Etche, this is, you know, they're like little sponges. They absorb everything and they remember everything, and they'll even remind you. And so I've been reading this book. You know, I've been doing a lot of research about how do I do this? How do I do, you know, go about positive disciplining? How do I, you know, like there's just so much about parenting that I'm having to learn. And so I do a lot of research online, and I got this book called Happy Parents, Happy Kids. And so, you know, one day, I guess he saw that I was flustered and overwhelmed, and kids are very intuitive. So they're, you know, they know. And so he's sitting there watching me, and he says, Mom, read your book, Happy Kids, Happy Parents. So I was like, oh, okay. You know, and so, you know, he's my little reminder. He's my little reminder to just, it's okay, Mom. It's just calm down. It's okay, you know. And so I just, you know, I think once you become a mom, that love that you have is just so deep. and every day, you know, he keeps us going. And so so when I talk about you know, Native liberation, I think a lot about his future in that regard, and what's going on right here, right now in our society, in terms of, you know, this fight for justice, equality, for all relatives, so that we all can live a healthy and dignified life on our terms. And I think I want that, and I think of that 100 years from now, for not just his generation, but for the generations to come. And so that's what we have to think about. You know, our ancestors, they thought that far ahead for us. They didn't just think 5 years from now or 10 years from now. They thought 100 years from now. And so it's up to us now today to do that. And as I closed out with this song, I just want to leave you all with not only that thought, but also the thought of what it means to be a good relative. What does it mean to be a good relative? And how are we contributing to that? You know, there's a lot going on in our society, a lot going on in our world. And I've kind of had to take a break from social media, because it can be overwhelming. And very, you know, like I know I'll admit that these past couple of weeks have been really heartbreaking. Like I've just been, my heart's been really heavy with what's been going on in our world. But we have to keep going, and we have to keep fighting. And when we do that, when we're fighting for his generation and the generations to come. And we're fighting for what we foresee 100 years from now in terms of Native liberation and Black liberation. So, and just for all people to be good relatives and to live a healthy, dignified life. And so again, I'm wearing it right here. Through kinship, we are strong. So remembering that, being a good relative to each other, to Nastan Hima, Mother Earth, Yadithithitka, Father Sky, and our non-human relatives. So this last song that I would like to sing is a song about Keh again, and it's called Kehfiyin. Hey na hey hey na hey hey na hey hey na hey Nijone ko kepe hatnishte Nijone ko kepe hatnishte Hey na hey na hey hey na hey hey na hey hey na hey na hey hey na hey na hey Nijone ko kepe hatnishte Nijone ko kepe hatnishte Shik e nashi ko kepe hatnishte Shik e nashi ko kepe hatnishte Hey na hey 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 na hey hey na hey na hey Nijone ko kepe hatnishte Nijonico kepe hatnishte Tanashake kepe hatnishte Tanashake kepe hatnishte Hey na hey 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 na hey hey na hey na hey Nijonico kepe hatnishte Nijonico kepe hatnishte Nasape kake kepe hatnishte Nasape kake kepe hatnishte Hey na hey hey na hey hey na hey na hey hey na hey na hey hey na hey na hey Nijonico kepe hatnishte Nijonico kepe hatnishte Yarif yefi yake kepe hatnishte Yarif yefi yake kepe hatnishte Hey na hey hey na hey hey na hey na hey hey na hey na hey hey na hey na hey Nijonico kepe hatnishte Nijonico kepe hatnishte Si hasen go kepe hatnishte Si hasen go kepe hatnite Hey na hey na hey hey na hey na hey hey na hey na hey hey na hey na I wanted to emphasize the last part because it's hope. See right now we are in that place. We're in that place of hope. Yeah.
I can't hear.
This world is a child, and in that we come into the world from the east, and then in that direction lies our thought process. To the south is our young adulthood, and that direction is our planning. And in the direction of our secret mountain, to the west is the direction of adulthood, and that's where many of us are. And to the north, where my grandmother once was, is the direction, that direction is hope. And then we return back to the east again as a child. And so we're in this place right now where we are hopeful on so many levels. And so I share that hope with you. I extend this to each and every one of you. And I look forward to this pandemic being over so I can hug. So I can hug you, all my relatives. And I just want to, also be inclusive of, of our disabled relatives, our differently abled relatives, or death relatives. I just want to say thank you for sharing this space with me and with all of us here as relatives. So I hope that you enjoyed the songs, Bien ben hik do lel do take care of yourselves. Many blessings to you all from the songs, and stay healthy, stay strong, remain vigilant, and be safe.
Hakehe Radmilla Cody, Tayisibe, Wadzomtke, Nzil. You have so much strength in your spirit. Just listening to you a cappella sing, could feel all our ancestors and relations in your vocals. Thank you for giving us so much hope tonight. Thank you for your walk. Thank you for your commitment and your dedication to carrying on what your ancestors have taught you. And I really appreciate our ancestors. And thank you so much for honoring diversity, because all the walls are down on this platform with Indigenous Ways. So everybody's welcome, and you're beautiful,
Our
Radmilla.
LGBTQI relatives.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you very much, and we just love you, Radmilla. We always have, and we always will. So my mom's on tonight from Chinle, so she just loves you. Yeah, Chinle, Harry and Kathy on the list, so they're here for you.
So thank you again, Radmilla. Sorry.
This has been healing for me too. So thank you all. Like I mean, I think when you just, sometimes you just have to, like, singing is healing, right? It's healing. And so this is great. This is actually the first long concert that I've done. So I was like, oh,
we feel very honored and very blessed. And it's a good segue to go into what is happening with Indigenous Ways virtual events. We've just experienced the extraordinary Radmilla Cody in the concert series. And then also on Wednesdays, we have the Wisdom Circle. You know, believe it or not, next week is September. So the year is flying through very quickly. Our guest that we have kicking off September is Evelyn Naranjo. She is one of the co-founders of Te Awa Women United, and she's going to be blessing us in the Wisdom Circle. She is from San Ildefonso Pueblo. Also, you'll notice that Friday, the concert series isn't there. Tasha and I have made an interesting and challenging choice since we started this on the 1st of April, our Indigenous Ways virtual events. Radmilla Cody has blessed us being the last performer in the Friday events. But don't panic. What we're trying to do is sort out what is a better platform and going rather than Zoom. Zoom is set up for meetings. Out of everyone, including Radmilla Cody, we have had 5 where the sound has been really lovely. The rest is like nails on the chalkboard kind of thing, which doesn't give justice to our extraordinary artists that we've been blessing us through this doorway. So we're just taking a little bit of a sabbatical, but we'll keep you posted with what's going on. But in saying that, the following Wednesday at the Wisdom Circle, we've got Aleta Tolan, who is Dene, all the way from Lukachukai. She will be blessing us. She is deaf, so she'll be teaching us through many ways through the Wisdom Circle. This is all possible because of our sponsors, the First Peoples Fund, the National Endowments of Humanities, the National Endowment of the Arts, the New Mexico Arts, the Santa Fe City Arts Council Department, and the National Endowment of the New Mexico Humanities Council. Also, we're very, very grateful to your individual support as well in making that possible so we can support all the artists as well as the interpreters, to make accessible, available to everyone. All of these events are archived. So if you go to IndigenousWays.org at the virtual events, you'll be able to see all 45 performers in the Wednesday Wisdom Circle as well as the Friday virtual events. And then down the bottom, you'll see all our social media. So if you're beaming in through the social media, please make sure you like one of our pages, whatever you're on. And if you're not on our emailing list, please be sure to go on that as well. If you're able to, we know it's tricky. We do have PayPal, Venmo on our website. We've got a donate button, and also we've got a physical address that's also in the Zoom links and also on the social media posts that we blasted out as well. And then lastly,
we have our Indigenous Ways virtual events donations that went to our Black Mesa people, also known as Black Mountains, Lijin, where my mom was born, my grandmother was born, and where I have a home site lease. We've been able to do 4 relief runs, and through this platform, we've been able to raise over $25,000 worth of cleaning supplies, food. We've had money come into the account to pitch in for the cleaning supplies. So we've taken water, food, cleaning supplies. It's been absolutely amazing. We want to thank all of you donors. This platform has been perfect for Black Mountain. We're going to keep you posted. We're not done with Black Mountain. We're taking a little break because the 4 runs were kind of hard on us. It was a beautiful, beautiful trip, but we will keep you posted. We got some very fun stuff happening for Black Mountain in October. We will keep you posted. Thank you. And this is all in honor of Shimasane, Margaret Dalton, who passed on June 8th this year at age 98. So this is all in honor of Margaret Dalton and all her brothers and sisters. She was one of 15. I have one grandpa left, and that's her baby brother, Tommy Begay Sr. And otherwise, got some beautiful ancestors up there.
so what's also happening, which we're very blessed about, which we're adding into the concert series, is partnership that we have with the Lanzac. They are hosting Kepmo, who's an extraordinary American blues artist. He'll be performing September the 26th at 6:30. All the proceeds will benefit for nonprofits, Indigenous Ways being one of them. So we'll let you know more about that and what's going on there. So that'll be heading towards us going out in October back to Black Mountain before the winter sets in. But it's that wonderful time again. If you're in Zoom and you want to turn on your camera, now it is. I know Radmilla has stepped out for a minute if you want to come back in because people need to tell you some stuff. If you're in social media and you just want to chat something, we're also very conscious of our beautiful interpreter, Zoe, who's just doing it herself tonight. So we kind of, if you've got something to say to Radmilla, please do it. And then we're just going to shut shop. We appreciate everyone being here. Does anyone want to say anything before we wind up tonight? And don't forget to take your mute off.
Thanks so much for doing this, you guys. As Elena knows, I am sort of in panic mode about not having any more. But Radmilla, it was so lovely to hear your beautiful voice, and thank you.
Thanks, Kitty.
Well, I've heard about you for a long time, ever since you became the royalty down in Dene country. But I must say, I am really, really happy that I got to hear you. And I'm glad you're out and about. Your work is wonderful. Don't stop. We need to hear all Indigenous voices around this planet.
Absolutely.
Period. And I'm glad I heard you tonight. Thank you. And join us in San Francisco. And if you feel like performing, please do. It's a way to get your name out there, and then we can start doing more Zooms around the world and making connection. Even though I hate this technology, it's a killer technology. It's killing us. I hope we can work on the technology that won't. But as long as we got this damn thing, let's make it work for us.
Absolutely, Rich.
I'd love to come out to perform out in San Francisco. Thank you.
So you can do it on Zoom too. So I got the, in case you missed it up on the top, I have how you can get to Zoom on Tuesday, every first Tuesday of the month up here in the city. So please check it out. Check the website called The 1428 Poets.
14.
I got to put the in there. And it'll take you to the webpage. Down in the middle of the page, I put the info in. So everybody is welcome.
Thank you, Richard.
Beautiful, Richard. And if you have a look at Richard's name, it's going to be on the end there as well for those people in our social media. Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Radmilla. It was gorgeous, beautiful, food for the soul. And I put my long-winded comments in the chat. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Great.
Thank
Christine,
you,
Violet, and Hilda say it's been a lovely evening, beautiful music. Thank you for sharing. We are all sacred, all one. Blessings.
Oh, and
There's been a lot of emojis through the social media outlets.
I've had a lot of people on my Facebook page, on the Indigenous Ways Facebook page, on Elena's Facebook page, and this will all be archived on our website, so we'll post it tomorrow. Those of you who have missed the concert, please go to the website, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram. It'll be there as well. So thank you very much.
Also, I should add, my name is Richard Sandrell, but I went in with my middle name, Richard Allen, because they can direct all their hatred toward Richard Allen, leave Richard Sandrell out of it.
Sounds perfect.
Much love, Richard.
Flo or Christina, did you want to say something? Because your microphone's off, Flo.
I did. I wanted to thank Radmilla. I know I first met her at the Farmington Public Library when she came in to do some lullabies with her beautiful music. And so thank you for doing this. And what a treat for us. Thank you so much. Thank you for making it possible for us to hear her. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Good to see you, Radmilla.
Good to see you too. I remember going there with my grandma.
Yes, I was going to tell you, you brought your grandma and then you shared how the, actually, I think you were the first one to let me know how the wonderful papoose board worked and all its meaning. So it was such a treasure. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. It's good to see you again.
Christina, you've got the last word and then we'll shut shop.
Our beautiful sister from New York City.
Yes, really, I just wanted to let you know that I did hear some of that, and your voice is just beautiful. It's so nice, and just hearing that heartbeat, that drum, I just really enjoyed it so much, and it's so relaxing and calming. It really makes me sad that this will be the last time for the concert series. I'm looking forward to what's coming up next, and excited to get more news about it. Tosh and Elena just providing so much from spring all the way now to the last Friday of the summer season. Yeah, thank you. And thank you to the interpreters, really just wonderful interpreting. And up to now, we've had some really wonderful people join, and having wonderful deaf community members come and just building this Indigenous community. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Zoe.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Red,
Yeah.
just looking at your name, I've never seen that name before. I think it's so beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Very unique name, like a very unique, beautiful woman of the earth. Beautiful woman of the earth. Keep singing your songs, Radmilla. Keep saying your prayers, and we are going to continue to love and support you all the way. Thank you. And thank you, everybody that has joined us tonight.
So before we sign off, there's a couple of things. One, to support Radmilla and her wonderful habit and gifts that she's been blessed with called music, please go to her website, radmilla.net. Also, she's on Facebook, same name, Radmilla Cody. Like her page.
Yeah, .com.
.com.
Oh, it's .com. Thank you. So like the pages, and also tell your friends to buy merchandise and keep her in the business. This is also possible. So let's please give it up for our wonderful interpreter, Zol, in making access available for all. but most importantly, for blessing us tonight, all the way with her powerful words of how we do this together and in unity, of surviving, of resilience, of where we have come from, but how we lead through song, through words, through spirit. Please let's give it up for one and only Radmilla Cody.
We love you all. Thank you very much, and we'll see you Wednesday. Ciao, Bella.
Sorry, thank you, Elena. And I know it's all dark in here. I'm like, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Radmilla Cody. Everyone be safe. Woo!
Elena and Tosh, Indigenous Ways.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, have a goodie, everyone.